welcome to Topisqotv. How you all doing? Trust you had a great day. So we are celebrating Bishop David Oyedepo at 70, and we want to say happy birthday to Bishop. Please, as you come into this live stream, say hi so that we can greet you specially on this auspicious 70th birthday. And a little bit of housekeeping. Please like the video, okay? Like the live stream, watching the replay, like the replay. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so the last 1 week has been busy with different people sharing their experiences, how Bishop has impacted their lives and has done a lot for them in their lives. And I've just been seeing different people sharing their experiences, and it's been beautiful. So if Bishop has impacted your life in any way, please let us know in the comment section. Okay, let's see the testimonies and all of that. Okay, and later on, if you would like to come on the live stream, I'm going to put the link in the live stream for you to come up and share your experience with Bishop David Oyedepo. So I just thought to share my own personal experience. The first time I heard about Bishop, and how Bishop has been like a constant in, like call it a constant, but has been like a figure in my own personal life. So yeah. All right, let's get into it. I hope you're relaxed. I hope you're comfortable. Okay. All right. So the very first time I think that I had an experience or got to experience the ministry of Bishop David Oyedepo. Um, so I'm not really going to be very good with the dates because it's been a long time ago. Was in the 90s. I must have been between the ages of 5 or 6. So, a little backdrop. So, my grandmother, she's late now. My maternal grandmother, my mom's mother, you understand? She used to be a prophetess at the Aladura church. Yeah. So, at the time, my parents were pastors in a Pentecostal church. So, they used to tell her that, mommy, this theology of this church that you're attending is not, you need to come, you need to update your theology and all of that. So my grandmother would come from Benin to Lagos. Okay. So at the time, I think Winners was at Yanokpaja, somewhere in Yanokpaja, Rajioba. So we would leave where we're staying at Okota to Rajioba. So the entire family, myself that I'm talking about, that must have been, I don't know, 5 or 6, between 5 or 6. That's what I don't know the exact age, sha, but was around that time, or 7, I don't know. So we would leave from Ago Palace Way, right, to Rajioba. My dad, my mom, my grandmother, everybody plus small Topisco. So we'll go there and they will spend hours. I think it was Wolf B, yeah, the Bible school, then Wolf B. So we'll spend hours and listening to Bishop. And at the time I used to wonder, like, what is the problem? Why do these people have to come and sit down and be listening to this person? So we'll stay for hours, Bishop will be preaching, and then my grandmother would buy anointing oil, big ones, and different Bibles, different what's that thing called, translations of Bibles, Strong's, Matthew Henry, this one. So we buy those things and go back to Benin, because she never really left the Aladura church, but she was going to Wolfby for Bible school. So she'll come to Wolfby in Lagos. So anytime she comes to Wolfby, so it's everybody that will go for Wolfby, including me, the child in the house. So that was the very first time I think I knew about Bishop Oyedepo. So when my granny, when we go to Rajioba, so she will buy anointing oils in jerry cans because she used to sell them, and when people come for prayers, because she used to pray for people and all of that. So she will buy a lot and take it to Benin. Then like that, Sha. So it was just like that. So she used to come regularly because of the Bible school that she was coming for. So the entire family. So that's the first time I heard about the man called Bishop David Oyedepo. Then around the time, because my parents were going there for Bible school and all of that, there was now a time where there was some sort of controversies about bishop style of ministry at that time. Some people in the body of Christ felt like the use of symbolisms and tokens. I know those things have kind of been downplayed now, but at the time it was a conversation that was going on, because then they used to do washing of feet at winners. They used to do a lot of handkerchiefs, anointing oils, and the denomination my parents were pastoring at that time, because my parents were pastoring a branch of a church in Lagos at the time. They had a more Christocentric, they didn't believe in tokens or using of white handkerchiefs, washing of feet, all those things. They just felt like, not they felt, their doctrine was like, if you are following Jesus, Jesus is enough. So that controversy at that time was a conversation that used to be very heated in my house at the time. They're like, Oyedepo, they use handkerchief, this one. So there were some pastors at that time who were very critical of Bishop David Oyedepo at the time, because you know how people, um how will I put it now? So there used to be a lot of emphasis on those things at that time. This was in the 90s, right? So as a little child, I used to hear those things. So that was the first time that I was like, okay, this is the person we used to go to the Bible school. And so when people are having those arguments, it was like, why are they arguing? But they are always going for the Bible school. I could not just place my head around it, but that was how I got to know about Bishop David Oyedepo. So the arguments used to be so heated, because it was a major conversation at the time, that should Christians be using tokens? When I mean tokens, like handkerchiefs, um, olive oil, those type of things, and all of that. So yeah. So that period passed. Myself and my mom relocated to Benin. I think the year 1999, year 2000. So from Benin, when winners now moved to Otta, was it 1999 that Canaan land was dedicated? I can't remember. Please just correct me, but I'll just share my story the way I remember. Okay. So the year that Canaan, I don't know if it was the first Shiloh. I don't, but I know it was 1999 or year 2000. So myself and my mom, we went for Shiloh when Canaan land was being dedicated. So that time was a big forest. So my mom was like, may her soul rest in peace. Like, oh, we're going for Shiloh and all of that. So yeah, 1999. So we went from Benin, we went to Otta, Canaan land. Ha. It was, I'll never, oh my God, I hope I don't cry. I don't want to cry, because now I'm just remembering a lot of things. So when we got to Otta, there were so many testimonies, because people had not seen that type of thing before. It was a huge structure. So how old was I? I think I was 9 years old in 1999. So myself and my mom, because my mom would be like, she cannot come to Canaan land and God will not expand her vision. So she will say, Topisco, I don't want to call my real name. Topisco, let us walk the breadth and length of this place. If Bishop David Oyedepo can build this type of place, God will do it in my own ministry. So me and my mom will be good. Jesus Christ. We will walk as at that time, the perimeters. That was our work. So after the sessions during Shiloh in 1999, we will now, my mom will walk around. There was a particular tree that she will go and pray and pray and pray and pray and pray that, God, you will bless my ministry, you will expand my ministry, you will do this, you will do that. Hello, thank you so much for joining the live stream. Please like the video. So we So that was year 1999. So at that time, Bishop had not started building Covenant University. I don't know if it was that Shiloh of 1999 or year 2000. I cannot remember again. But there was one time they now put us in a bus, like everybody that wanted to go and see where the location of Covenant University was going to be in. So I could remember how excited my mom was, just so excited. Like, I, and she was just so excited. She was so happy to be there. I remember her packing sand. She will pack sand from Kenaland and she's taking it back to Benin. That God must prosper her ministry. But there were two experiences that I will never forget. So I cannot really remember if it was that 1999 or year 2000, but it was one of those years anyway. So while we were there, you know how a lot of people come for Shiloh at that time. So one of the days that we had gone to scan round the entire perimeter of Canaan land, or the places we could walk, for miles. Jesus. My mama Sha, may I so rest in peace. We walked for miles and she was praying and praying and praying. She would say, Tokwe, pray. She would say, Tokwe, pray. Look at what this man has done. Pray. So for just Sha be following her. So after one of those days that we went round on that expedition on Canaan land, so we went to the food court. At that time, they used to, I don't know how it is now. I've not gone there in many years, maybe more than 10 years. So I don't know, but this was then. So they used to have canopies, food courts. So at the time, you know how people can be rowdy. So the protocol people used to be overzealous. I don't know if they're still like this, but they would just drive us. So people would be running from one tent to another tent. It was just so rowdy. So while we were running, the excitement of camp and all of that, there was this man that brought this. We were sitting somewhere, my mom and her friend and myself. So we're sitting down in the food court. Excuse me. You guys, please like this live stream as I'm talking my talk. If you want to support the channel, I'm just going to put something that you can support the channel. Okay. All right. So as we were sitting down um on that particular place, so this here comes this man, and he brought this big loaf of bread, very big loaf of bread. So as he came, he greeted my mom, and Benin people now. My mom say Benin, so they were speaking Benin to themselves like, who be this person when don't come here now? What's this one called they do for you? So the man was like, madam, don't be angry. I need you to share in this bread that I'm eating, because I have a testimony to share. So um my mom and her friend, they were looking at themselves like, what's this one? So this man shared this amazing testimony. Like I said, I cannot recall if it was 1999 or year 2000, but it was one of those years, or 2001, because we used to go for Shiloh constantly, but it was just when Canaan land was inaugurated. So the man said that he was from Kaduna. He came from Kaduna. That's a year before. I think it must have been 2000 or 2001. But let me just share the story. This is my experience with Bishop Oyedepo, my own truths, okay, that I know personally. So this man said that a year before that year of Shiloh that we were in, my memory is fuzzy, but just listen to this story. That himself and his wife came from Kaduna on a train with the last 100 naira or 15 naira, or let me just say the last money that they had. And that when they came to Shiloh at that time, that's Canaan land, as at that time, the early days of Canaan land, 1999, 2000, 2001, I don't remember the particular year, one of those years, that they came with a train, and that they were members of Winners in Kaduna, and they didn't have anything. They came with their last money for Shiloh. That so in fact that the place was beautiful at the time. Nobody had seen such a spectacle, largest church in the world or something like that at that time. So the wife and their 5 or 7 children, I can't remember, but let me just say their children wanted to take pictures. Now you come to a beautiful places. So the wife wanted to use their last money to snap picture. That in fact he will not lie, he beat his wife because that's the money that they had to go back to Kaduna after Shiloh, and she used it to snap picture. So anyway, that particular Shiloh that they came for, he prayed because they had nothing. So when they got back to Kaduna, I can't remember the entire story, but let me just remember say the one that I remember, as he was sharing it with my mom, her friend, and I was there. That he the landlord or the house where they were staying, they had given them quit notice, and they didn't even have any money to pay for the place. Long story short, I can't remember, my memory is fuzzy, you guys, sorry. But something happened anyway, that he now bought the house. I cannot remember the full details, but I remember that the man now said he bought the house. If I don't know, let me not say what I'm not sure of, but I know he bought the house. The circumstances that led to him buying the house is what I cannot remember. Any day I remember the thing, I'll come and tell you put the full story. So he now said this year now that he wanted to share that bread with my mom, her friend, and myself, that they were coming to Shiloh as multi-millionaires, and that was why he wanted, that God just led him to where we were, for for him to share the story that God of Bishop Oyedepo, like, God has blessed him beyond his wildest dream. That just a year before, they came on a train with their last money, and the next year they were coming to Shiloh as multi-millionaires. Oh my God, that story! Before my mom died, I just wish she was here. I don't know why she went to die in January. She would have been here now telling this story by herself. But she will always tell this story as one of the things that made her like, God, you will bless me. If Bishop Oyedepo can build all this type of things, me too, I will do it, and all those type of things. But that testimony then, it was so, this man was very understated. Like, you won't know that he was a multi-millionaire in 2000, 2001, but he came and he bought bread for us, bought tea. That was his own way of saying, this is my way of thanking God for what God has done for me, during through the ministry of Bishop Oyedepo. Another one, that this one was me directly. So excuse me, guys. I think it was 2001. I can't remember. Sorry. But this particular year, my mommy's friend, in fact, I had forgotten this story. It was when I went to bury her that her friend reminded me of this story that I want to tell you people. So she had issues with her legs. She couldn't walk. So she was bedridden for many months. So when we were going for Shiloh, I now told her, she said I told her that, Auntie, I'm going to Shiloh. And when I get to Shiloh, by the time I come back, I'm going to pray for you at Shiloh. When I come back, you would be walking. So me, I had forgotten the story. She was the one telling me. I must have been 9 or 10 years old at the time. So then when you go for Shiloh, they used to have this ark thing. There was this big ark thing that you would write your prayer request and put it inside. So for that particular year, Shiloh, my prayer request was for this my auntie, that by the time I get back to Benin, that God should she should start working or something like that. Yeah. So that was what I remember. I remember writing that prayer point and putting it in the, I think it was called the ark. Correct me, Mona, not this if I'm not getting it, but I know it was called the ark at that time. Yeah. So I did that. So me and my mom were there. So we went back to Benin. According to her, she said that I told my mom as soon as we were coming from Shiloh, whether they prayed on handkerchief, I cannot remember. To be honest, I can't remember. But this is what she told me that I did. So she said that as soon as we got back from Shiloh that year, 2000, 2001. And I told my mother that before we go to our house, so we must go and meet this my auntie, because Bishop Oyedepo has prayed. I've prayed at Shiloh, and I know that God will heal. I said laughing issue, but yeah. So she said that as soon as we came with the Shiloh anointing and everything, I came to her house. We didn't go to her house straight. I said I must go and meet her. And you guys know that when we got there, when there was a mantle like they prayed for, that they prayed at Shiloh, and we used it to pray on her legs. My auntie started walking, that had been bedridden for a couple of months. So these are my own personal experience with Bishop David Oyedepo and his ministry. I just remember that we used to go for Shiloh a lot. Yeah, so thank God for his life and his ministry. He impacted my mom loved him so much. May her soul rest in peace. She would always go there. My grandmother, may her soul rest in peace. She went for Wolfby and all of that. But his ministry has been very, very, very impactful. And in recent times, or not so recent times, maybe like 10, 11 years ago, when I just got married, we were staying around Ota. So myself and my husband, we would leave. We're staying in Alagbado. So from Alagbado is not far from Ota. So we'll go to Cana land. There was this particular day, I will never ever forget this particular experience. So my husband comes from a background in a particular denomination. I don't think there's any point calling it a denomination, but there is an old denomination that is just like Deeper Life. So we had gone to their camp or something. And when we went there, they were preaching about death. The whole thing was just about death, 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 death. I'll never forget that day. So as and is in that that side, sha. So as we were coming back, I was like, we must go to Canaan land, because this one we went for a 3 hour service or something, and the entire service was just talking about death, 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 death. So we drove, as we were coming back from that particular denomination, as we were going, we were coming back to Lagos anyway. So we went to Canaan land. And do you guys know that when we got to Canaan land, the message Bishop was preaching that day was about the life of God. I will never forget that day. I laughed because I was kind of mocking my husband. It's not funny because it was very real to him, because I was angry. Like, how you go to a church and his death from the beginning of the service to the end of the service. So as we just got to Canaan, and Bishop was just preaching about life, receive the life of God. You will not die young. You will not do this. So I can be very naughty, so I was just laughing like, amen, amen, we're not going to die, all this kind of thing. But it was very, very real for my husband. He was so excited, like, how come we are coming from one place, they are preaching about death, then you get to this place, they are talking about life. So it was like, sure, you see the difference, sure, you can see the difference. So yeah, those were my experiences with Bishop. And I remember going back now to when I used to go to Canaan land with my mom. There used to be so much strange testimonies that you cannot even comprehend it with your mind. Like, I can't even remember some of those testimonies, but I remember that there used to be so much, like, you hear testimonies, like, you'll be wondering, like, is this real? Is this really, really real? Can a human being do this type of miracles and those type of things? But we used to see those people, they'll bring people, excuse me, in clutches. Like I just shared the story of my auntie. She was not even at Shiloh. Bishop did not even pray directly on that handkerchief, to be honest. It was just, when you go for a program and you are holding your handkerchief and your olive oils and all of that, and as they are praying, you understand, that was it. And my auntie that was far away in Benin, that did not even come for the program, was healed. This they did not tell me. I saw it. I was the one that carried the handkerchief and say that I'm coming from this place. God is going to heal your leg. So Bishop's life and ministry has actually been a blessing to me as a child, because I experienced all these things as a young child. And that was my own growing up experience. Okay, my mother used to go from one place to another. So but at Winners, this was the Winners angle of the different stories. There are many stories. Hang around this channel, subscribe to this channel. I tell a lot of stories, okay? So yeah, and I bless God for the life of Bishop Oyedepo. Um him being dogged, coming from an unknown town. Oh, another experience of Bishop that I'll never forget is when they used to tell the story of how God, a vision or something that he had. You guys, you know that story. I know they used to dramatize it in those days when we used to go to Canaan land. Is it Bishop that had the one that there was a tree, then the leaves started coming? Or that one is Archbishop's story. I cannot remember, sha, but I know there was a story. Then they would dramatize it, and it used to be very vivid in my mind. So yeah, grateful for the life of Bishop David Oyedepo, and we thank God for all that God has done through his life. And one thing that is evident is that when God does something with someone in a particular generation, it is a pointer for the next generation that if God did this with this person, God can do times 10, times 20. It depends on how much you can, um what's that thing they used to say now, how far your vision can go, okay? Because Bishop could have stayed in Yanokpaja. What pushed him to live in Yanokpaja to go to Ota when Ota was just a forest, like nothing was really going on there? It must have been God. And you know sometimes when I was watching the Dowsers on their live stream when during Papa's remembrance or something like that, and they were mentioning something about the fact that sometimes when God gives you a vision, people around you may not really see it. So I'm just imagining when Bishop David Oyedepo was like, "Oh, God has given me a vision to build this capacity building or whatever," and people around him, if they couldn't really conceptualize it, it must have been a very lonely journey. It must have been a very lonely journey, yeah. So but persisting and saying that this is the direction God wants us to go. And then Bishop used to talk about the fact that they did not collect loans and they were able to achieve that. In fact, let me just say this evening, or after we closed from church, I was discussing with my husband and I said something that one of the things I particularly like about Bishop Oyedepo is that they, let me speak it in pidgin, please. You know, they do passing safe in the sense that you will not hear Bishop coming to say, "We want to do something, so um if you don't contribute or something," you know how people emotionally blackmail people to do things. Yeah, I don't see that, though. I know they ask for donations, because I remember those early days of Winners. I remember that my mom sowed seeds into Covenant University when they were building it and all of that. But what I'm trying to say, I hope I'm communicating what I'm trying to say, is that you know how people want to do something and they begin to put burdens on other people. I've not really seen that with Bishop. Like, they are very structured and they plan whatever it is that they want to do without, it's based on your own volition, like you're not forced to give and all of that. But you see some people, they want to do something, you are the one that say God told you to do that thing. So instead of you to sit down and count the cost of the thing that you said God told you to do, you will not plan for that thing. Then you will not come and think that you want to emotionally blackmail me, that if I don't give you to do that thing tomorrow, not lie you. If you come and be somebody like me, that means that vision when God give you go die, because I not go answer you. Yeah, because if you say that God told you to do something, because God tells us to count the cost before you do anything, you count the cost. You have to have like a timeline. You have to like have a structure to what it is that you want to do, and you now work towards it. Now when you're now working towards it, if God now sends people to come and help you, hey, do you understand? Not that you'll now be blackmailing people and all of that. So that's one thing I admire about Bishop Oyedepo. Another thing that I personally admire about him is his loyalty. I've done a video, I think last year, when Mama Idausa, was it last year? Yeah, when she was 80, talking about all of that. So I don't think I'll talk too much about it. I'm just going to link it. You can go and watch that video. But you know how when somebody is alive and a lot of people surround that person, and it is popular to be associated with anybody that is popular, you understand? Now, when that person passes on, or maybe that person doesn't have that type of prominence, you just, for instance, you see the way a lot of senior ministers, big ministries, they were all converged at the birthday party. You understand that type of thing? Now, just imagine, no, imagine. That's use your imagination. I'm not saying that is it. So for people that don't understand English, imagine a situation where that influence is no longer there. All those people that came no longer come around. Then one of the persons who were there s- decides to stick with that person even when that influence is no longer there. That shows you the kind of heart that Bishop has. A lot of people don't have that type of heart, even if they are pastors, they are bishops, or they are archbishops. A lot of people just want to be associated with people when it is popular to do so. And different people learn different things about people, but this is one of the things that I personally have looked at, and I'm like, if this man can be like this, I like this thing about this person. You understand? You may have something else that you like about him, but that particular character or strength of character in Bishop is something that I like. Okay, because it is not just to um be around people just because it is popular to be around them. Are you going to be around them when it is not popular to be around them? Ehen. You understand? Ehen. And it's not just only Archbishop, even Pastor Adeboye. If you guys remember when Mommy Oyedepo was sick, there was a season that Mommy Oyedepo was sick. I don't know where I read that thing, but it's a long time ago. But Mommy Adeboye would cook from Canaan, sorry, from redemption camp and bring to Canaan land. If the Oyedipos had not shown that camaraderie and some level of loyalty to the Adeboyes, I don't think they'll be doing that. So beyond the, oh, Bishop is a man of faith, Bishop is this person that built this thing, the character of Bishop is something that I like. I admire it about it, because like I said in one video, now by connection these days, for people to get character like that, once they see say you not get that thing, when they say they follow you before, they'll dump you. They're gonna use you and dump you. You get it? Do you get it? So I love that character about Bishop, that it is not about whether somebody is popular or not. If Bishop is loyal to people, he shows that loyalty. He honors the people. He demonstrates that loyalty. A lot of people don't have that type of character these days. Instead, they will bullshit the people that maybe they started with. I understand that, yeah, we grow, you grow in life and all of that, but they are just certain things, I don't know, it's just me, maybe wrong, but they're just telling things, that you should please like this live stream for me. Oh, like the live stream for me, please. Thank you very much. Hit the like button, and if you want to support the channel, you can show me love. All right, show me love. I've been talking anyway. So like I was saying, I love that attribute about Bishop, that character of being loyal to the people that he started with. It's not everybody that has that type of behavior, especially these days of bad character. A lot of people, even in the Christian fold, the bad character is too much. Yes, the bad character is too much. You hide it under I'm working in the spirits. Now lie. That bad character you get. Don't be say any spirit. The other thing that I think this is what I'm going to round up before I'm going to put the link. If you want to join and come and talk, you can come up. That I like about Bishop. There was a year, it still goes on even amongst us bloggers. when Linda Ikeji was the reigning blog that time. And so you know how bloggers clickbait and you do put titles and all of that. So people come and it's called rage baiting. So you rage bait people to have conversations that they don't want to have. So people now went to ask Bishop, or it was a newspaper publication, and they were like, "Oh, bloggers are saying this about you, blah blah blah. What do you tap this to? What do you have to say?" Then Bishop said something that it changed my life. He said they are doing their work, and I'm not going to leave my work to be looking at another person doing their work. Ha! I read that thing more than 10 years ago. And I was like, what kind of thinking is this? Like, I expected him to say, I curse these people. You know, the way some people come on my platform now to be cursing themselves, all those type of things. So it was like, they are doing their work. I'm like, what kind of man is this? What does it mean by they are doing their work? That as they are doing their work, I'm going to focus on doing my own work. I'm not going to leave the work that I'm doing to come and pay attention to what people are saying about me. So when I read that newspaper articles many years ago, I was like, wow, this is so profound, because not a lot of people have that type of insight, have that type of understanding that you are responsible for your work, you are responsible for your life. You cannot outsource the responsibility of your own life, of what you do, to another person. You understand? And it really changed, because then if you just put Bishop Oyedepo has private jet, the blogs will just, the engagements will just be like pa 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 pa. It really didn't care. Unlike these days where you have if you talk about a pastor, they'll sue you, they'll do this one. But I see that set of pastors, their thinking is different. The Bishop Oedipus, the Christoyakilomes of this world, the more you talk about them, the more they don't even they don't even mind you, because they are focused on their work. Like if new generation pastors are hearing, you both should take that part of those babas. It's not these days that you use a pastor's thumbnail, they will strike your channel, they will take down your channel. Jesus Christ. Please, you people should, as they are celebrating Bishop, you people should celebrate all these other parts, because that is a person with a large heart. A lot of new generation pastors, they don't have that type of large heart. You use their content, they strike you. There was somebody that came and told me that, oh, I want to be putting pastors content. I say, don't take their content, so they will strike you. She did not listen to me. When she did the thing and they saw that the person's channel was going viral, she was one that cried and came to meet me that the particular ministry brought down her channel. I said, Shebi, I told you. You put used to hear my own. Anyway, so that's one thing I personally love about the person of Bishop David Oyedepo. And another thing, let me just say this, is that despite the controversies that have surrounded Bishop over the years, he has kept his focus. If you like, talk from now till tomorrow, he doesn't care. Like, sign now, 909 they do. So if you say, why are they charging expensive for Covenant University? Bishop not the answer. You know, they like Bishop does not have time to come and be answering you why they do the things that they do. You understand? If you are not aligning with it, you bounce. You understand? Yeah, there have been criticisms about Bishop over the years. Let's also mention that, because you know me, I'm not here. So, but at the end of the day, there's something they used to say, that you take the good, you learn from people, you appreciate whatever good you look at it, that okay, this was not so good, but you learn from it. Because some of the criticisms, okay, over the years has been that, oh, Bishop does it, I don't know, I'm just saying the criticisms, I'm not the one saying it, I'm saying what they said. We talk here. So some of the criticisms over the years has been that, I don't know whether that has changed, but that time, that some of the ministers under Bishop, they are not seeing the prosperity. They are not seeing the prosperity. So some pastors left winners many years ago because of this thing. So I remember I said we used to go to Canaan land. I remember one year, I don't know if it was 1999 or 2000. I just know that it's a range of between year 1999 and 2002. So at the time, there were no, they didn't have a lot of restroom facilities when we were going there. So you will see women on in the forest bathing naked. It was an eyesore. Oh my god. Well, I remember very well because we have to, myself and my mom, we have to carry bucket. I think there was one time we even fetch water from one river or something like that. Ah, Jesus Christ. Ah, Mama talk well. Wait till you define. Anyway, so during that, whether there was no water on Canal Land, I cannot remember, sha, but so during that episode of women bathing outside and all of that, my mom now remembered that one of her classmates was married to one of the bishops at the time. So she now said that, "Ah, let's stroll to the bishop quarters, that her friend is a bishop's wife." Her friend is a bishop's wife. At least they go allow us enter inside, we go bar for bishop's quarter. That's how my mother and our young child of 10, 9, between 9 and 11, sha, we shall go to the gate of the bishop quarters at Canaan land. Then I said we cannot enter. So she called this her friend that is a bishop wife, kept calling, kept calling, kept calling. So later, many years later, because she was offended, how will I have a friend that is a bishop wife? I cannot go inside the bishop quarters to go and have my bath. So this particular woman was now explaining to her that, Mama, not take her like that too. Not be as e be oh. Not be as you dey look am for outside, not be as e be for inside oh. So that was where I got to know that, oh really, the pastors are not being remunerated like the way like you expect. So that's one criticism that people have criticized over the years. But I don't know, it might have changed. I don't know. Do you understand? But in every human being, there's no perfect person. There are people who have even me, we all have our flaws. But you see, that's the sovereignty of God. God uses us with our flaws, with our imperfections and all of that. So Bishop has not had a controversy free ministry, but in spite of all of that, you understand, and that's where I personally am learning that, look, life is a continuum, it's not a straight line. You may have issues here and there, but you have to stick on your path. Because like I mentioned earlier, when people were criticizing Bishop for using mantles, all those things, all the people that were criticizing that time, they come the birthday. So wait till they there. At the end of the day, do you, the world will adjust. But yeah, but in fairness to Bishop, a lot of those things have also been kind of de-emphasized than what it used to be, which also tells you that every person grows. There are certain things that your pastor may be doing today that in another 10 years your pastor may no longer be doing that thing. That's why it's not just good to just cancel people, because you see, you're not God. You understand, you're not God. And um God is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and He keeps working with His children, and we keep evolving. All right, we keep changing. For those that want to change, you, some people not agree change. They are devil incarnate. They will never change. Yeah, so that's my experience with Bishop David Oyedepo. I think we are going to end the live stream. But if you want to come up, let me put the stream link if you would like to come and say something, talk about your experience with Bishop, winners, um the entire 70th birthday. I'm so glad, I'm happy for Bishop. Oh, let me just say this. There was something that Pastor Adeboye said, that people who know Bishop, that there was a time that if you come to his house, it's what he gives you to eat that you will eat. If you cannot eat it, do you understand, you go. And he just tells me Don't put pressure on yourself. You are starting out doing anything, it is not the way you start that it will end. You understand? If you keep at it, okay, because a lot of people don't have that staying power. Once you do something, it doesn't work the first or second time, you are bouncing out. But once you have that staying power and being true to yourself, not to um to appreciate your growth, yeah, appreciate your growth. So if it's 5,000 naira clothes you can wear your 5,000 naira clothes. If it's 2,000 naira hair you can wear your 2,000 naira hair, and grow. You get, everybody went for Bishop's party, everybody's celebrating, everybody's doing that. But that's not what the celebration was seeing, is not how Bishop has always been. He has had to grow over the years. Okay, so appreciate your journey, right? Appreciate your journey. Fine tune anything that you need to fine tune. Okay, fine tune anything that you need to fine tune. And we keep on going on this journey with Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'm gonna put link in the comment section. If you would like to come up, just go to your browser, click on this link, go to your browser, and join me to come and say something. If you want to say something, all right. If Bishop has been a blessing to your life, I put the StreamYard link in the comment section. So I'm just going to be waiting for you to accept you as a guest. So you just come up, tell us your name, tell us where you're watching from, and what your experience with Bishop David Oyedepo has been. If you've been enjoying the video so far, please like the live stream, and you can support the channel. There's something scrolling on the screen. I'm also going to put it in the comment section. You can support us and show us love. Okay, so I'm just going to wait. Is anybody coming up? Do you want to say something? Has Bishop been a blessing to your life? Come and talk now. Or you don't like what, there's something that Bishop has done that you don't like. Come and talk it, so that people that can explain to you will also explain to you that, oh no, it's not like that. Don't look at, maybe you should look at it from this perspective. You get, so come and talk your mind. Click on the link in the comments. Click on the link in the comments, or copy it, go to your browser. So it's going to take you to StreamYard. So you just add yourself as a guest, then you can come up stage and talk. All right, so I'm going to be waiting. Okay, nobody wants to come up and talk. No problem. It's fine. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you are watching the replay, leave your comments, share your testimonies about Bishop, how Bishop has been a blessing in your life. Okay, let me just wait, because sometimes people will be like, oh, you should have waited. I wanted to come up and all of that. So let me just wait. I'm going to give us like 4 minutes. So if you want to come up and say anything, all right, click on the StreamYard, or you can call me on Instagram. All right, you can call me on Instagram. Maybe that's going to be easier. You can call me on Instagram, Topisco. Just search for Topisco on Instagram and call me on Instagram. So would hear your conversation here. Is anybody coming up? Are we coming up? Okay. All right, no problem. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the live stream. I will see you guys in our next video. Do have a lovely, lovely day. Remember, show us love, okay? Show us love. Support the channel. If you enjoyed this video, you can support the channel, okay? There's a link in the description box as well as in the comment section. With any amount, any gift is fine. We'll accept it. We're doing birthday of our Baba. Thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely, lovely evening, and have a fantastic week ahead. Bye.